Morning, fellas. It's another weekend, and it's time to work on the Nomad. Nomad's been sitting for several months while we've been playing catch up and shows and all the other stuff. Now's the time. So my goal for today is to get the air ride wrapped up on it. We're doing a airlift performance air management kit like we normally do. Also going to be plumbing in a York style engine driven compressor. We're in the middle of building all the brackets to work with the vintage air pulley setup, so I'll give you a peek at that later. And yeah, right now I'm going to dig out the manifold, which like we kind of have on display here. So we got the airlift performance manifold. This we already built brackets for on the chassis out there, and then we'll be running this York style low consumption engine driven compressor. A little bulky, not the prettiest looking thing, but it's nice and quiet and it's quick. Those are all good things. I'm gonna round up some parts and get familiarized with the Nomad since it's been a minute, and get to it. Nomad's been living on the lift here for a while. We've always had something underneath it. Space is premium in here. It's kind of got set up in here where we left off. We made this bracket here for the airlift manifold to sit in there, and then started lining out where I'm going to plumb this thing. I got to run lines obviously off all four corners, and I did that already. They come back here. I left them nice and long so I can cut them to length. Basically I need to tie these saddle tanks together into one, and then start doing the feed line, which I have set up right here. Run that forward to the York compressor. So in between all that, I'm going to put a water trap and a check valve. Also got kind of a water trap set up here, and this is a check valve here so the air doesn't push its way back through the compressor. Anywho's, get plumbing. I need to find my air manifold. The one on display is actually for this car, but I have another one in stock, so let me do some digging and be right back. So this kit actually is for the 55 first series that we're going to do here. So I'm going to rob that manifold out of there. Found the manifold. Got the water trap, check valve. Let's see if I can do this one-handed here. Get out of there. So, this is all I really need out of here. Everything else has been wired. So this guy will bolt up in there. So yeah, be right back. I'm gonna pull that bracket off first, and then I'll bolt this manifold on, put it back in, reconvene. So I'm opting to mount this manifold to this bracket. I'm gonna use these riv nuts, and these are 1/4-20s, but the only stainless 1/4-20s I have are Phillips end. Not really preferred, but it'll do the job. The rest of these are all Allen, which try to keep it consistent, but nobody really cares. I don't. Let's get those in. Alright, got the riv nut tool. This one's a little big, but it'll work. Got it changed over to the 1/4-inch, 1/4-20. And just gonna snug that up there. Open her up. Come on. Drop it down in there. Yeah, the head of this thing's a little bit in the way, so it doesn't seat on there very well. Interesting. Well, yeah, I think I can make that work actually. Just hold that square. I don't know if you guys can still see that or not, but we'll do this one and we'll check it out. Yeah. Don't want to over squeeze it, but definitely want to make sure that it's seated enough to where it's not going to spin on you as soon as you go to put the hardware in. Kind of see? It's squeeze, rivet. Well, that's what it is. Leaves you with some threads in there. I can bolt this guy in there. Pretty straightforward. Alright, let's do the other one. Air valve setup is installed. So apparently I had a 1/4-inch line. That's not going to work. So that's the one that should be in here anyway. 3/8. The other kit that I grabbed, 1/4-inch. not gonna work on this deal. Anyway, that's back in there. I got all the fittings labeled right there just so I can see them easier. Now I need to run an airline, one of these 3/8 guys, from the side of the tank around to this other tank. It's a nice looking cross member. I'm gonna act like I didn't see that. That is rough. But yeah, start tying these tanks together and then routing the airline. I'm still gonna leave them on the Schrader valves like this for right now until the air compressor is actually working. That way I can still raise and lower the car. So I got the airline ran from tank to tank, and it's hanging right here, and I got to thinking I'm just gonna add it, plumb it right through the old license plate here hole, add in a Schrader valve. That way I can manually air up the tanks in case I have compressor issues or whatever. Got my T in place there right in the middle of the tank, and I ran it through the license plate right here. Got the little Schrader, and at the same time I was able to put on my little Moon Eyes Hawaii license plate frame. Thanks, Tad. If you guys haven't been to the Moon Eyes location in Hawaii, check it out. Just outside Honolulu. Cool little shop. Lots of neat stuff in there. Thanks again, Tad. Alright, next I got the water trap. I need to get that placed. We got two different sizes here. Both these will work fine. I'll probably go with the smaller one, and I'm gonna want to put this in between the compressor and the tank, and then this check valve goes between the water trap and the compressor. So should probably mount the water trap first and then work my way forward. Had the scoocher on back a little bit. I should have did this first. Now I can get underneath there. Placement of the water trap, I'm thinking kind of right here. It is going to be in the way of tire slinging, I guess, but it's easy to get to. I don't know. I'm going to think about it for a second. Got the fittings on the water trap. We're going to use these crimpable fittings here, the -6, and then use this kind of line, which is way overkill and expensive, but we don't have to mess with it any longer or worry about it, I guess. So this will be from the tank all the way to the compressor. So we need to make a few sections. First section will be water trap to tank. Let's do it. So we'll be using the hydraulic press on this stuff here. Like I said, we use this line and fittings and stuff for making custom power steering lines. Today, I'm making custom airlines. So get that guy right up in place where I want it. Sneak up on it. All right. And let's do it. Yeah, not much to it. See, nice clean crimp. Yeah. It's got the pull test. Yeah, I mean, did its thing. Cool. So I'll take this piece here, hook it up to the tank, rough end, measure it, mark it, cut it, bring it back, put another end on it. All right, got my spot located. Drilled a little pilot hole. I'm gonna make it bigger, and I'll drill it and tap it. There, run a tap through that, mount the water trap, just like that, nice and easy. After struggling way too hard, got that thing mounted up in there. I'm gonna route this, I got it measured out, I'm gonna cut it, put the other end up on it, come up to here, and then from here I'll go through the gas door and down the frame rail. So let's finish making this line. So I got the other 90 on here, I'm gonna crimp it, and I know the other end's gonna be a 90 also, going towards the compressor, so I'll just crimp them both at the same time and keep moving forward. Nice and clean. Full check. Good. Next. And that looks good. Send it. Nice. So, ends are all made. Nice clean little crimp. Unlike my install of the water trap, not so clean, but functional. Alright, let's install this thing. So 90 goes up to the water trap. And gotta get it started. A little tricky sometimes. Righty tighty. Come on now. I have to put like a little bend in it to get it up there, so that's my excuse. What's it doing? Feels like it's tightening. Oh yeah, nailed it. And connect this end here. Huh. Just like that. Snug it up and then hook on the other line, which I'm going to come through. I don't know if you can see it up there, but where all the filler neck stuff comes through up in here, come down to this guy and then forward. That's the plan anyway. Alright, I think I got a plan for running the airline from the water trap forward. I'm just going to follow the airlines here. It's kind of with this X frame, it's a little tricky, but I'm going to sneak it up through here, drop it down in there. Maybe I can put the check valve in here somewhere and then shoot it straight up to the compressor. So that sounds like a plan. The airline roughed in for length. I'm gonna have to pull it all back out of there again, but up and over, I'll secure it then. Now I got, let's see if I got this check valve here, so in out, put it right in here I think, and then from that end up to the compressor. So get that cut to length and made for it. All right, got the check valve. Put the ends on it for -6, all that stuff. It is directional, obviously it's a check valve. And I got this little rubberized clamp. Definitely not the prettiest thing. I'm gonna mount it in this general area up here, so it's out of the way of everything and in line with the hoses. Through the powers of movie magic, it just fit first time. Got the straight end crimped on there. Buttoned up back here, got the 90 rerouted through there, and yeah, moving forward. Let's get that check valve mounted. Got this sucker dropped down. So what we've been working on is this little bracket right here. It's probably hard to see. We're still fine tuning it, but bolts on to the LS motors with a Vintage Air front runner kit, and then holds this York style compressor, engine driven obviously at the pulley. So we got there's going to be another wheel right there, and just extend the belt. We got exhaust and we got intake and we got exhaust over here, so I need to run this line, tie it back in there, and that's the last bit of hose. Okay, got the last fitting made right there. I'm gonna route it through the engine bay. I got the fittings on the top And I decided to go sideways with this. That one there will tuck down, be out of sight, and just fall on the frame rail right back to the check valve. So let's feed this one through, mark it, make it. Good measure. Beautiful. Come on. Yeah. Sweet. Last fitting. Pretty cool. We're still mocking up the pump and everything in there, so this stuff here is more or less when it's done I can just hook it up and go. So I'll continue to run the Schraders to the back until the pump is functional, but it's getting really close. So we'll finish building that bracket, powder coat it, throw it on there, get a longer belt, and test her out. But this will probably do it for now. So let's get this sucker on there. So you can see the line runs right through there. I can, once we get this done, I'll secure it back over here. The rest of this airline that I have heat wrapped, get it out of the way. Wraps under the control arm and right up there. So yeah, pretty easy. And with that, air system is done. So thank you guys. Another episode. And we'll tune in later when we do more on that AC pump. So yeah, until next time guys. See ya. Lied, I'm not done yet. Still have one more fitting to go. I need to attach the tank to the actual air manifold. I don't know, so many fittings.